Hi, we've made it to Santiago. We're here.
And here we are in Plaza de Armas, about to begin our 4-month ride all the way down south to Ushuaia. We've got our 2 bikes behind us. And it is a beautiful sunny Monday. It was a bit tough to get started and get out of our comfortable bed in Santiago, knowing that tonight we're going to be sleeping in our tent. But we're excited to get started.
Okay, we're about 8 k's in. We're following one of the main avenues south of the city. Thankfully there's a signal here because we were riding through the city earlier. There were a couple of hairy moments. So we're just going to follow this one basically as far south as it goes. We're going to make a turn and hopefully start heading towards the campsite. Okay, update. To avoid a busy highway, we are hiking our bikes through the back of a housing development. Hopefully it will allow us to skip the busiest bits, but we'll just see. Okay, day 2. Got a good night's sleep in the camp last night. Befriended a dog. Woke up this morning to gorgeous sunshine. Temperatures are just about right. And the Andes are laid out before us. This is when it all just starts making sense. Got about 45 k's to do today. Predominantly rolling to downhill. So hopefully it will be one of the easier days on the trip. But we'll just see. So we've stopped for a winery called Concha y Toro. It's one of the most famous vineyards in this part of Chile. Makes us very excited to try some wines. If you ever wanted to know what it was like when someone was in their happy place, just have a look at Meg in the middle of a wine tasting. How is it?
It's very nice. It's a Syrah from Parque Siete Concha.
Okay, wine tasting is done, and we're headed to our accommodation for the night. It's about 10 kilometres away. And I'm pretty excited to get there, you'll see why. So here's the outlook from where we stayed last night. Beautiful view over the Andes, and we stayed in an old converted train carriage. It was very, very cool. Would have enjoyed it a lot more had I not come down with a bout of something that rhymes with smooge schmoisening. Anyway, about 50 kilometres on the docket today, but we'll tell you more about it when we're out on the road. Okay, we've had a change of plans. We went to the campsite we had originally planned for this evening, only to find that it is shut for another 2 or 3 weeks. Was that information listed anywhere on the Google reviews or on the campsite's website? It was not. So we're bailing out and seeing if we can find a hotel in the next town over. Fingers crossed. Alright, day 4. So we're starting out a little bit earlier than we have been the last couple of days because we've got a longer and more difficult route today than we have for the past couple. So we've got about 75 k's and over 1,000 meters of climbing. We're also going up and over a pass called the Mirador de Cuesta Chata, which we're on our way to now. We thought we saw cars going over it yesterday, but our host last night said they were doing works on it, so we'll just see if it's open and we'll go from there. Well, we've started the climb. It seems open for now. We'll just see. About a third of the way through today's riding now. Whoop. Just stumbled on this bike path in the middle of nowhere. It's nice to have it. Conditions today are cooler and cloudier than we've had previously, but yeah, making decent progress. About 50 k's to go tonight. Okay, late afternoon, we've gone through the city of Rancagua. We're probably about 15 k's from our intended campsite tonight. We've tried to contact them a couple of times to confirm they're open and have received no response. So we're going to head down there and I'll see what we find. Hopefully they are open and we can stay there tonight, but we will just see.
Okay, so we are about 30 kilometres into day 5. We had a really frosty night last night up at our first wild camp. Our campsite that we'd hoped for was closed again. I think we're just a little bit too early in the season for campsites that you pay for. But it was a really isolated place in the mountains and there were some flat spaces nearby. So we set up next to a stream and had our first wild camp. And overnight everything frosted over. It was very cold. I even had my beanie around my feet to keep me warm. But from there we packed on up and we came all the way back down the valley on a beautiful long downhill. It's actually a mining community up there with a large copper mine, so we did have to grapple with a few trucks carrying sulfuric acid, but they were mostly really kind, gave us a friendly beep as they went past. We saw our first condors for the day and for the trip, which was really exciting. Crossed the large highway that also heads south that we've been avoiding by twisting along these back roads, and have now started moving through some beautiful Chilean farmland and countryside with lots of orchards and vineyards all around. Yesterday was cold and windy and gross. Today it's sunny, feels like 26 degrees, so I've slapped on the sunscreen and Tom's got his short shorts on, and we are probably about 40 kilometres from our hotel for the night. We'll be having a rest day tomorrow to recover, especially because Tom's going to be getting up real early this morning to watch the grand final, go the Lions. We'll see how the rest of the ride for today goes, and we're looking forward to a well-deserved rest tomorrow.
Coming into town now. This is San Vicente de Tagua. So we've ridden nearly 90 kilometres today, or it will be by the time we get to the hotel. Whew, rest day tomorrow, and I think we could both use it at this point. Alright, rest day Sunday. We are riding in sport mode today, no bags, because we're heading out to a winery called Vic, which we saw on a list as the 3rd most beautiful winery in the world according to someone. So we're just going to go and check it out, and Meg's going to maybe have a wine. day 7. Had a bit of a rest day yesterday, went out for a little bit of a ride out to a winery. That was not terribly successful. So today we've got our shortest day of the trip so far, 25 kilometres to the city of San Fernando. We can only go that far because I have to catch a train back to Santiago tomorrow to vote in the Australian voice referendum. So yeah, very, very cruisy day on today, and maybe we'll pass some wineries on the way to San Fernando and see what we can find. Day 7. We've had a couple of days resting in San Fernando. We're heading south. Sun's out. A little bit of a cold breeze today, but we're both pretty itchy to get riding again. About 65 kilometres today, predominantly downhill, so not a whole lot of climbing. A couple of winery visits that Meg's lined up on the way. And we're not 100% sure where we're sleeping tonight, so we might just have to work out a camping solution on the fly. Update from the road. Been going about 2.5 hours now, done just shy of 45 k's. Sun's out, gentle breeze. Meg's lined up a lunch at a winery, I think, which is probably another 5 or 10 k's away. Yeah, that's not too bad.
So we've just had a nice lunch. Meg's enjoying the wine in the sun, and we've got no idea where we're camping tonight. But we're in some comfy chairs. We've got a nice view. I don't know, we'll work it out.
Okay, day 8. Camped last night on a sandy riverbank, which was lovely for the photos, but sand got absolutely everywhere. So got up this morning, got about 90 k's to do today, and we've just ridden through Santa Cruz, which is the biggest town in the Colchagua Valley wine region, and we're heading to a town that Meg and I chose to stay at purely because it has a funny name. Anyway, had some lunch and we'll update you from further up on the road. update. I had a little crash, but I'm okay. Alright, day 10. Alright, day 10. Stayed last night in the town of Rauco. Because Curacao, the town that we're heading to now, was just a bit too far away after we got done with a pretty steep gravel climb and descent yesterday and endured a pretty stressful ride into town with traffic like that. We just wanted to get some dinner and crash, so we did that, and now we're headed to Curacao today. The original plan is to visit Curacao, wash some of our clothes, try and see if we can get my phone repaired because it does appear to be kaput, and then maybe ride to a camping site about 30-40 k's on the other side of the city, out towards the Andes. But as ever, plans may change. Alright, update. It's now about 1:30 in the afternoon and morale was pretty low on our way into town, but Meg decreed that we would have a good day today, and since then everything's been coming up roses. We went and visited a bakery and had a nice chat with the owner. We went and got my phone fixed. They didn't even charge me, which was fantastic. Possibly taking pity on a poor cyclist. And then we are now on our way to meet Manuel, who was originally planning to host us last night. We're going to watch the second half of a Curacao United football game. The stadium's down in the valley, and apparently people watch the games from up on the hillside. So we're going to go and meet Manuel and hopefully see the bit of football game as we make our way up this climb. I'm not sure if you can see, but either side there are mountain bike trails everywhere here on this park. It is so cool. It is so cool. So we've rocked up to the Curacao United football game right as they've scored a goal. So obviously we're good luck. Afternoon update. We've left the game. Unfortunately, Curacao United lost 2-1. Just gotten a roadside churrasco, so we're nice and full of tasty food. And we've got about 40 k's to ride until we get to where our campsites we think will be for the night. Day 11. So we're starting up from Potrero Grande today, heading up to the first national park we're going to be visiting, the Parque Siete Tazas, or the Parque Siete Tazas. It's a very nice waterfalls there apparently, so keen to get there and have a good camp tonight because tomorrow is Meg's birthday. So about 65 k's to do today, but more climbing today than any day previously, over 1,000 meters of elevation gain. Thankfully the first 20k are downhill, so it will at least start out easy. Beautiful road down here, but this was flooded about a month back, and the recovery is still ongoing. The water is crystal clear though. So here's the road we were meant to take, and there's Meg looking for a way around. We may potentially have to backtrack all the way to Curacao, where we came from yesterday. Okay, so the road we originally wanted to take was completely destroyed by the recent floods, so we found a track that we think exists that's used in a mountain bike race that goes up and over this little ridge. Hopefully we can get up and over and down to the other side. We made a deal that we'll need to be over by 5:30 to make it worth our while. We'll just see how we go. So we we made it to Parque Siete Tazas, and look at this! It's just so cool. Just so beautiful.
The water is so blue.